For those of you looking for jobs with visa sponsorship, whether you're inside UK or outside UK, this video. Hi beautiful people, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Stella. On this channel I talk about my life here in the UK, what's happening around me, and I share information. On this channel I also do reaction videos, so if this content sounds like what you will be interested in, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share my videos. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back to watch my video. Well, lately so many bad news have been coming up online about healthcare job with visa sponsorship. It's hard to get threshold increased, so many things. It's time for you to explore, whether you're inside UK or outside UK. I think it's time for you to explore, to be honest. Try other jobs. The UK government added more jobs to the UK shortage occupation list, so it's important for you to also go through those forms, check them out. I'm going to leave the link on the description below. Well, in today's video, I have someone with me who will explain to you or why you all need to transition into tech. And if you have any question, also feel free to leave it on the comment section. And if you want to join the WhatsApp group, ask more questions, or if you want to transition into tech, there's the link on the description below. Just click on that link and join the WhatsApp group. So without wasting much of your time, let's dive into today's video. So guys, I've got someone here with me and I'll just let him introduce himself to you guys. Please, can you introduce yourself?
All right, thanks very much, Stella. My name is Adeza Suleiman, and I'm the founder of Tenalytics and a co-founder of Amdari. I have over a decade experience in data analytics, data science, data engineering, and so on and so forth. But just like so many people, I started my journey from a non-technical background. My first degree was in industrial chemistry right out of the university, but then I transitioned to become a data analyst along the line. And over the last decade, I've helped and focused on organizations, helping them understand their data, make sense of their data, and help them take data-driven decisions. But in the last 4 years, after founding Tenalytics, we've been able to help more Africans and more people of the Black community to also make that transition from non-technical background to getting jobs in different regions, from the US to the UK to Canada, getting jobs within the tech ecosystem, from data analytics to data science, and so on and so forth. And by the end of 2024, we had helped over 2,855 people to land their jobs. So from care workers to business analysts, from logistic managers to data scientists. I've lived in the UK, I've worked in the UK for different organizations. I've worked for organizations in the US as well, and I live in Canada and currently help organizations start up their data digitalization process. And that's essentially what I've done over the last decade. And I'll be happy to share my experience with everyone today.
So if you're watching this video, feel free to leave any kind of comments or any question for him. For me, I have some questions I want to ask you, and I'll be reading it out because I had to jot it down so I don't forget. So okay. My first question is, what are the most significant challenges immigrants face when searching for jobs with visa sponsorship, and how can they overcome it? So the reason why I'm asking this question is because, in the past, a healthcare job used to be very easy to get. Everybody healthcare job, but now it's hard. And now yes. Persons are finding it difficult to transition into any other field because they just feel like healthcare job is the real deal. But the truth is that there are other opportunities people need to explore. So what do you think about this?
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% spot on. And you kind of answered the first challenge that people face, which is everybody follows one single direction without realizing that there are other opportunities.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the number one challenge. People don't know the career path that are in demand in the UK and in the regions where they currently reside. So for us, one of the first things we always advise people is understand the career path that are in demand. For example, let's take the UK. The UK currently has a talent shortage. Yeah. There are so many jobs available, and we don't have enough people to fill those jobs. According to the UK Department of Science and Innovation, they clearly indicated that every year on year, you have over 174,000 to 234,000 jobs that are left unfilled. People don't fill these jobs. So you can imagine having those jobs available and not enough capacity, not enough people to fill those jobs. So if these jobs are there, why are people not applying? So that's the first challenge. They don't know the
Yeah.
career path that are in demand. Now, the second major challenge is for those who know
Yeah.
that these are the career path in demand, they don't have the skills and they don't have the experience. So we always tend to learn and tend to gather skills that we think are relevant, but we don't look at it from the employer's perspective. What do employers want? What do they want from me? And that's where you realize that employers want you for your competence, your
Mm.
skills, and your experience. So those that know that these are the jobs, these are the career path I should focus on to help me land sponsorship, they don't have the skills and they don't have the experience. So it makes it a bit difficult for
Yeah.
them to land these jobs. Now, having said that, the third challenge is employers would not just hire anybody. They want to hire professionals that have done it before and that can do it for them. And
Yeah.
I'll take the data ecosystem as an example, simply because 50% of organizations in the UK
Yeah.
would hire you as long as you have some data related skills attached to your role. So you could be a data analyst, a data officer, a data engineer, a data scientist, a data protection. As long as you have data attached to your job role, you will get hired by at least 50% of the companies in the UK. Now, they don't want to hire just anybody. They want you to hit the ground running on day one. You're not going to come in and learn on their own expense and on
Yeah.
their time. So they want to ensure they're hiring the right person.
Mm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that's why I can't overemphasize the importance of experience. So having the experience to show that I've done the job before and I can do it for you is absolutely critical in you landing that job. And I'll give you a very good example by asking you this question, Stella. Now,
Mm.
imagine you want to buy a gown, a wedding gown,
Yeah.
maybe to celebrate, just you want to buy a wedding gown, and you have two tailors you are considering. The first tailor, you've gone to the tailor shop. At the back of the shop, the tailor has a certificate that shows that she's gone to tailoring school to learn how to tailor. The
Mm-hmm.
second tailor has mannequins, has samples of the dresses, the wedding dresses she has sewn, and
Yeah.
also the type of materials and the quality of the materials.
Yeah.
Which one of the tailors would you feel comfortable sewing that wedding dress from?
Yeah. I would definitely go with the one that has samples. Definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's why we at Analytics always preaches having a portfolio. So if you're a business analyst, you must have a portfolio. Your
Yeah.
portfolio is your shop. That's
Mm.
your showroom. That's where recruiters, potential employers can walk into that your portfolio. They can see what you've done, what you've built. They can see the quality. They know how good you are, and
Yeah.
then you get invited for that interview because they've seen that you've done it before and you
Yeah.
can do it for them. So always remember these three things, the three major challenges. People don't know the
Mm.
career path.
Yeah.
For those that know, they don't have the skills and they don't have the experience. And the employers would want to drill down to ensure they hire the right person. So you have to portray and position yourself to ensure you can get those opportunities by having a portfolio, essentially.
Those of you that are scared, it's time to try. Just explore. Give it a try. If you don't try, you will not even know if you can do it or not. So why not give it a try? Some persons want to do be like, oh, but they are just skeptical. I just want to do care job. Try. Why not try? I'm going to leave a link before I forget on the description below so that you can access their WhatsApp group. Yeah, people share their experience. Honestly, it's worth giving it a try. So if you're watching this video, there's a WhatsApp link on the description below. And my next question is for professionals who may be fixated on securing care role and are some alternative high paying jobs, they can leverage their existing skills and experience to secure visa sponsorship roles.
Yes, absolutely. So you mentioned something very crucial, which is a lot of people get scared. And
Yeah.
that's because of the misconceptions they've heard. Oh, for you to get into a data analyst role, you need to be the smartest person in
Yeah.
the room. You need to know all the things in mathematics. And these are misconceptions.
Yeah.
My undergrad, I had an industrial chemistry degree, nothing related to technology. And the reason why it's easy for me to transition. It was easy for me, and it's been easy for so many other people. We've had care workers who have come into Tenalytics. Today, they are data analysts, they are
Yeah.
business architects, they are business solutions analysts. And I'll give a couple of, stories, testimonials as we inch into our session today. So you need to understand that it is a heavily skill based ecosystem. Anybody can learn the skill. It doesn't matter what Stella has done, she can learn the skill. It doesn't matter what I've done in the past, I
Yeah.
can also learn the skill. So, to go to your question directly, people getting into care, most likely you'd find out that back in their home country, maybe in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Zambia, they used to work in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
they were doing logistics, maybe they were logistics officers, logistic managers, but now they've moved to the UK. And because of the type of people they interact with,
Mm.
they easily get into those areas because they assume those are the only opportunities available for them. Now, for me, when I moved to the UK, I
Mm.
had interacted with so many people living in the UK, including the co-founder of Tenalytics, who was already in Ireland at that time, working as a business intelligence developer with DPD in
Yeah.
Ireland. So we learned the data analytics skills together in Nigeria back in 2016, if I remember correctly. So no, he left, I think, in 2018 or thereabout. But we had learned the skills years before that. And I knew the type of skills he had, and I had similar skills. So when I moved to the UK, I didn't bother going to look for any other type of job. I
Yeah.
looked for a data analyst job. And within the space of a month, I landed my first job in the UK. So that shows you clearly that when people talk about, oh, you need UK work experience, it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. How do I get a job a month
Mm.
moving into the UK
Mm.
without UK work experience? Your experience back in Nigeria also counts. And
Okay.
that's the mistake people always make. They assume that because I'm moving from care and
Yeah.
I'm moving into, business analysis, for example,
Mm.
the experience I had back in Nigeria in logistics or as a banking officer is now useless. But it's not. Okay. And I'll give a very quick example on how relevant it can be, especially looking at transferable skills. So one of the first things we do, or part of the things we do at Analytics, is CV review and optimization.
Mm. Very important.
Absolutely critical. So let's imagine you are a customer service professional, okay? Or you're even in the care ecosystem. You've done all that type of jobs before. What we look for are those transferable skills that you've had in your previous work experience.
Mm.
And then we also enable you include the current career path you are moving into. Say you're moving into data analytics,
Mm.
you must know Excel, you must know Power BI, you must know SQL. You have to find a way to include those skills in your previous work experience. All right. A customer service professional would have on their CV that they make 300 plus inbound calls every day. Now you are moving into a data analyst role. That can't be your work experience on your CV. You're going to tailor that and change it to I
Yeah.
gathered and analyzed customer data using Excel,
Yeah.
which improved customer resolution time by 40%. But it doesn't stop there. You now go back and work on projects to
Mm.
enable you understand that couch CV, the optimized CV you have, which includes data analytics in your previous experience. You now go back to work on projects. So we give you projects to work on customer data.
Mm.
So when you get into an interview, you don't just have something on your CV that you cannot defend. You can
Yeah.
actually go ahead and defend. You can
Yeah.
talk about it because you've already done it with us at
Yeah.
10 Analytics.
You already have
Finally,
experience.
finally, when you join 10 Analytics, you don't join as a learner or as a trainee. You join as a contractor or consultant. So all the projects you work on with us for the duration of about 8 months to 12 months, depending on the program you joined, all those projects become work experience. So on your CV and your LinkedIn, you would list 10 Analytics as part of your work experience. So recruiters and potential employers would want to confirm, they will ask for references. You
Yeah.
give our reference details, and we would write those references for you. And that's how you eventually solidify that offer and get the position eventually. So it's you have to be direct in the way you approach these. You have to be strategic and methodical to ensure that your past work experience is relevant, you tailor your CV, you optimize your LinkedIn, and all of these would play into how you get that job eventually.
So if you're watching this video, honestly, 10 Analytic is the shop lock for you. Why? Because I mean, so many persons struggle with, getting experience. So with them, you
Yes,
definitely you have your experience. Okay, you go online, you see people paying for CV. 10 Analytic will sort that out for you. Isn't that amazing? So what are you waiting for? See, grab the opportunity now before it will be too late. Well, my next
absolutely.
question is, are there any specific skills or qualification that makes a candidate more attractive to employers offering sponsorship? Is there any specific?
Absolutely. 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 So there's a watchword we have at Analytics, and that is competence over credentials.
Okay.
We always sing this every single time. Competence over credentials. Employers want you for your competence, nothing more. They don't care where you studied, they don't care what you've done, they don't care if you have a master's or whatever. They
Yeah.
care about your competence, your skills, and your experience. So, what gives you that edge over all the competition and all the other candidates you'll be competing with? Once you've identified the career paths that are in demand, and I'll list them out, eight of them, eight career paths you want to focus on. And these career paths, we came up with them based on the research we've done over time. Okay, every year we scrape data from the major job boards, we analyze, and we see the jobs that have the highest frequency of demand. Secondly, we also look at reputable organizations like the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report to see where the future of work is going, where the demand for the jobs are today, and where they would be in the next 5 to 10 years. And finally, we look at them based on specific regions. In the UK, for example, where are the eligible occupations for the skilled worker visa? Because if you get an offer in any career path, it doesn't mean you can get a COS and
Yeah.
eventually get a skilled worker tier 2 visa. It doesn't mean that. So, which career paths are in demand and are also eligible for the skilled worker visa? And anybody can do this search. Go
Mm.
on Google and type in eligible occupations for the skilled worker visa, and you'd see the UK government website pop out, and you can check these jobs and their respective codes.
Yeah.
Number one, data analytics,
Mm.
data science, data engineering, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, cybersecurity, and agile project management. These are the eight career paths. So once you've identified the one you want to go for, select one. These
Mm.
are all fantastic career paths. Go for one. The next step is to learn the technical skills, because that's a given. Any employer would want you to have the technical skills to do the job.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the first thing you need to do. Secondly, you need to now gain the experience. And I talked about that, and that's why every program at Analytics comes with internship. So once you are done 6 months learning in class in a project-based environment, working on projects, you also get to join an internship for 2 months or for 6 months, depending on the program you join.
Yeah.
These internship simulates the real world environment. You get to work with a cross-functional team
Mm.
whereby you are solving problems just like you would
Yeah.
in a real office or in the real world of work. Once you've gained your technical skills, you've also gotten your internship, which is your work experience. You must now do the most important part, which gets you in front of the employer, and
Mm.
that's employability skills. A lot of people ignore this.
Mm.
They go for the technical skills, they learn Excel, they learn Python, they learn Jira. However, they don't have the right CV. They don't have the right LinkedIn. They
Yeah.
don't know how to interview and answer simple questions like, tell me about yourself. Okay. And this is where we have our interview preparation session. So on your dashboard, as a part of Tenalytics, you go to that dashboard, you have an interview tomorrow, you can book an interview prep today.
Mm. Nice.
Somebody would carry out a mock interview session looking at the job requirements.
Mm.
And this is somebody who has been on the role or is
Yeah.
currently on the role. So they know exactly what is obtainable and the type of questions that would come up. All right. So that's very important. You also need to have a portfolio, like I mentioned. All right. Then you also need to have a partner that can provide you with a reference. So when you eventually get an offer, every organization would request for a reference. Okay, if you don't have that reference, how do you then get somebody to confirm that you've actually done this job, you actually have these skills, and you
Mm.
can, deploy those skills for the new company? And
Mm.
that's where Analytics comes in. And of course, where to apply and how to apply is also very key. So all of these things I've mentioned all play within the employability aspect, because guess what? Most people apply on LinkedIn, Glassdoor, CV Library, read.co.uk, and so on and so forth for sponsorship jobs. But you don't get most of the opportunities from there. Opportunities for sponsorship comes from platforms that are paid. You subscribe and pay to those platforms. And those platforms would gather all these sponsorship jobs, and they have somewhere you just go to. You have access to these jobs and apply to only sponsored jobs. Most of these jobs are not found on your conventional platforms like LinkedIn. And one of them is UK visa jobs, for example. So what we do at Analytics is we subscribe to these paid platforms. We scrape the data of the
Mm.
jobs from these paid platforms, and we send them to our participants every single week.
Wow.
So you're not competing for the jobs, the few jobs available in the public conventional platforms. You're competing, for the jobs that not everybody has access to, because not everybody would subscribe
Yeah.
to a paid job board. All right. So remember, technical skills, employability skills, all the things I've mentioned over the last 1.5 minutes, and then finally experience. If you have these three things, you
Yeah.
will stand over the competition and get those jobs a lot faster than other people would.
Question is, can you share success stories? Like, I know I used to see a lot on your what's it called,
Yes.
Instagram page, but can you
Yeah.
share success story of people who have gotten jobs with visa sponsorship, and what are their strategies?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll make this very quick. We have tons and tons of, success stories, like you said, on our YouTube. If you go to YouTube under testimonials, you'll see quite a lot of them. Now, one of the first things we do, like I mentioned, all the things I've mentioned so far in
Yeah.
terms of strategy, I'll tell the story of Faith. Faith worked as a nurse with the NHS,
Yeah.
okay, but now she wanted to transition, meaning that she would leave that, the NHS sponsoring her,
Yeah.
but get a data analyst role that also comes with sponsorship, which can be difficult to find
Yeah.
because you are leaving sponsorship and you want to get sponsorship again immediately. But guess what? Faith got the offer from the same NHS
Wa-
trust.
Wow.
So she got the offer, she applied. All right. We worked with her during her interviews. We prepared her for the interview. So the normal probationary period that would have happened, which would have probably, scuttled
Yeah.
her duration or timeline to ILR, it
Mm.
didn't affect her because it was with the same NHS trust. And today, Faith is currently a business intelligence officer,
Wow.
moving from a nursing role to a business intelligence officer, and she still has sponsorship on that role. All
Wow.
right. We have
Yeah.
somebody like Rita.
Mm.
Rita got a sponsorship using this strategy. We call the strategy stoop to conquer. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's stoop to conquer? It simply means that you're not applying to only jobs
Mm.
that come with sponsorship. You are
Okay.
applying to companies that have the potential to sponsor you. So
Mm.
we carry out the research. We know the number of COS this company has
Mm.
issued over the last couple of years. And if a company has issued 1,000 COSs and another company has issued only 10, you know that if I go for that company that has issued 1,000, there's a potential for me to get my own sponsorship as well. So she applied, she got the job as a data analyst with the name of the, I think Cognizant, that's the name of the organization, right?
Is it
Now,
you?
in the UK, yes,
Oh wow.
Cognizant in the UK. She got the job. she gave them 120% because that's the strategy. It's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't come with sponsorship, but you give them so much that they
Yeah.
like you and they love you. They don't want you to leave. She
Yeah.
stayed on the job for about, I think, about 8 months, and
Mm.
then when the changes came up last year, April 2024, where
Mm.
changes were made, the salary threshold for sponsorship increased to
Mm.
38,700 and so on. She requested that she wanted a COS. Of course, she had a pushback from HR and so on and so forth. Oh, we can't give you the sponsorship, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. But the hiring manager did not want her to go. Why?
Yeah.
She had given 120%. But and guess what? Today, Rita is currently on her sponsorship. She got the COS. She applied. She even used the priority service. She got her COS on a Thursday,
Yeah.
and she did application on Saturday. And I think that same week she got her
Wow.
skilled worker visa. So there are numerous other stories like that. But
Yeah.
just to share a few with you.
Yes. But if you want to see more success stories, check out their platform, check out their YouTube. Even on Instagram, I used to see a lot of people, share their success
Yeah.
stories. So you can check them out. And the next question is, what are your thoughts on the UK government plan to review visas to attract more AI and science workers? Because
It's a
the post the UK
yeah,
government said, lately they've been like, oh, there's no sponsorship on this and that.
yeah,
But the recent post I saw on the UK government website, if you have experience
yeah,
on that's to do with AI, they are
yes.
like rushing them now. So what do you have to say about that?
It's a fantastic development. It's a welcome development, and it only shows, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of this video,
Yeah,
there's a talent gap.
yeah,
To put it into perspective, between 2018 to 2023, a 5 year period, the talent gap in the UK increased from 18% to 81%. Now, do you know what that means? It means that in 2018, for every 100 jobs,
yeah.
you had 82 people that
Wow.
could fill those jobs.
Mm,
But fast forward 5 years after, for every 100 jobs, you now have only 19 people that can fill those jobs. So the talent gap, the talent shortage has increased significantly, and you don't have enough people to compete for the jobs available. And that's why the UK is attracting talent back
mm,
into the UK
mm.
to fill in these roles, especially within the space of AI. And of course, they also want to be, leaders within, the AI, the data space, and
Yeah.
improve their innovative capacity globally compared to their own counterparts. And that's why you have things like this. But it's not unique to
Mm,
just the UK. And this is not just the first type of visa pathway
yeah.
available for tech talents. You have
Yeah.
the global talent visa, for example, as a data scientist, as a data analyst. A lot of our participants, people that have joined our program, have gone ahead to get the global talent visa. The challenge with the global talent visa is you have to show significant verifiable experience, in the
Mm,
sense that you have to show how much you've contributed to the
yeah.
digital economy for
Mm,
you to get the endorsement from one of the endorsing bodies like the Tech Nation and so on. So the UK is simply attracting talents within AI, within the data space. Come into our country, would give you the visa, get a job or start a company and employ
yeah.
more people to support the economy essentially. So it's a good development.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you came to the UK, were you a student?
I came to the UK as a student, but I left the
So
UK as a global talent.
wow. So if you're a student, did you guys hear what he just said? So you
Yeah.
were studying and you got a job as a temp.
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, that's a good one to be honest, because so many persons, like I said, they are just scared. They just start with, honestly, I see so many students and I feel like you guys are so intelligent. What are you guys doing? Like try something new, try something different,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The BEDRROM Group as a customer insights analyst. So typically working in the UK, you have a 20-hour limitation as a
Yeah.
student, right?
Yeah.
So you can only work 20 hours per week. So
Okay.
what I did and what we also advise our students to do is I had the job I was working with the Belron Group in the automobile industry in the UK. I was
Mm,
helping them understand their customer insights, presenting this using dashboards, using Power BI dashboards, and so on and so forth. Then I also
Yeah.
had another job working for a company in the US. Now,
Oh,
how did this benefit me? I was in the UK. We had a time difference of about 7 hours to six
yeah.
hours, depending on the time of the year. So as I was done working from school, I
Mm.
had the time to also join and
Yeah.
do my job for the company in the US. So I was doing two jobs. I had a full-time master's program, and it was an amazing experience. Yes, I didn't have a life at that
Yeah.
time, but I made all the money I could make, and it
Yeah.
was the best time of my life, essentially.
And the good thing now is that students have 2 years post study visa. So
Absolutely.
even if like they're studying now and they're like, oh, I need a full time job, you can just do
Yeah,
20 hours. You have 2 years post study visa. So as a
absolutely.
this is another great opportunity, honestly. While you're studying, why not go into tech? Like, it's something you should try. It's something you
Yeah.
should try. If you don't try, you wouldn't even know. So try
Yeah.
it.
Just to say something very quickly on just to piggyback off what you said. So a lot of people listening to this video, depending on where you are, if you're a student
Mm,
and you're almost done with your program,
yeah.
you start to panic because can I learn these skills that Deza is talking
Yeah.
about and get a job before my student visa expires? Can I get that sponsorship because I don't want to pay for the post study visa? Go ahead and do the post study visa. Don't be scared of doing it. People worry because you have to pay, quite an
Yeah.
amount,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're a family, you have your husband, you have your wife, you have kids, you pay a significant amount of money. But trust me, that money, getting a job, you'd probably make it in a month of your
Mm,
salary at the end of the day. So don't fret. Start learning the skill as fast as you can,
yeah.
depending on when you've heard about all this information. Start. If you have to apply for the post study visa, go ahead and apply. You have 2 years
Yeah.
to
So
literally search for a job, get a job that will sponsor you. And 2 years is more than enough time, more than enough for anybody in the UK today to land a job, especially within the tech ecosystem.
yeah. All right. My last question is: what is your one piece advice you will give to anyone preparing for UK job market in 2025?
Yeah, just one thing. If you're in the UK already, you have no excuse
Yeah.
not to land a job and not to get sponsorship. No excuse whatsoever. All
Yeah.
right. You know the career path that are in demand. All you need to do is select one and stay committed to it. It's as simple as that. Now, there's a misconception. People would say that, oh, I need to know mathematics. No, you don't. There are
Mm,
career path that requires zero mathematics, zero. For
mm,
example, as a business analyst, you really have no business going to learn mathematics to get to do your job. It's
yeah.
it's less of that type of skills, and you can learn the skill within the space of 6 months. A typical 10 analytics program you'd learn for 6 months, 6 months in class in a project-based environment, and then you have 2 months internship after that, making 8 months.
Yeah.
Or for those who want more work experience,
Yeah.
they go for the 6 months internship, which will take your program, to about the duration of about a year.
Yeah.
So the earlier you get started, the better for you. That's
Definitely.
the advice. The jobs are there. The UK has a talent shortage. The UK also has roles that are left on fields in the hundreds of thousands every year. In 2025, you want to be one of the people that would fill those roles. And before I forget, we actually have our IWD every year in March to
Mhm.
commemorate the International Women's Month. We also have the International Women's Month Scholarship,
Mm.
which is a 50% off, a
Wow.
50% discount across all our programs.
Hmm.
And the reason why we do this is simply because we want to help more women get into the tech ecosystem. We only have across the globe only 25% representation of women in the tech ecosystem.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you how successful and fulfilling this has been for us by telling you Ikmat's story. If you listen to the testimonials I gave you, the first person was a lady,
Yeah. Yeah.
Faith. The second person was a lady, Rita.
Yeah.
The third person I want to talk about now is also a lady. Her name is Ikmat, and she was a beneficiary of that scholarship
Oh, lovely.
last year. And today, she also works with the NHS on full visa sponsorship as a data analyst. So she
Wow.
also moved to the UK as a student. Before she wrapped up her program, she had already secured two offers from different companies, but she couldn't take the full-time offer. They both came with sponsorship, but she couldn't take them because she was still a student.
Yeah.
But about 2 months after her program, she got another offer from the NHS. We prepared her for the interview, and today she works with the NHS on full visa sponsorship as a data analyst. And in the NHS alone, as at today, we have over 62 Tenalytics alumni working with the NHS in one capacity or the other,
Yeah.
data analyst, business architect. So the best time to start is now.
Yeah.
Learn the skills. We also help you with your employability skills, your CV. We work on your CV for you, your LinkedIn. You have an interview. We prepare you, and that's how you start to get these jobs. You have
Yeah.
to be methodical. You have to be strategic. So pick one career path.
Yeah.
Join our community. Stella would post the link to
Yeah.
the community.
Down
Join
below.
the community.
Section, the link will be there for those of you interested.
Absolutely. Ask all the questions you want to ask before you go ahead and decide to start your journey. So if you decide data analytics is perfect for me, start. If it's business analysis, start. Data engineering, cybersecurity, agile project management, get started. And in a couple of months after, your testimonial would be on our page that you've
Yeah.
gotten a job, you've gotten sponsorship, and you're thriving within the tech ecosystem.
Hopefully, my subscribers will be one of those.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
last question I want to ask for the scholarship, is it just for ladies or is it just for everyone?
So we have 300 slots for women and
Mm.
50 slots for men. So we didn't want to leave the men out because the men are also advocates for women getting into tech. So 300 women and 50 men. However, I think we have just about 140 slots left for the women and about 15 slots or thereabout left for the men. So you want to take
So
advantage and get started.
is there a special link or code for this
It's a,
discount?
it's a 50% scholarship.
So is there a code for the scholarship?
Absolutely, there is. So I'll get the team to send you the link. So maybe you can add that to the description as well.
Yes, please do send me the link because I mean the last time I posted it, some persons were asking me how much and all of that. So I'll just post it.
Yes.
So grab the opportunity now that you get 50% discount. This is scholarship. Grab it
Yeah.
now. Mind you, he said just 100 and something left. So please,
Yeah.
if there's any way I can get the code or link for that.
Absolutely. We'll share that.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll share.
share it with you.
Thank you very much for your time. I don't want this video to be too long, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So very much for your time, and I
It's a
hope to talk
pleasure.
some other time. Honestly.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Stella.
All right. So with this, guys, we've come to the end of today's video. I hope to see you in my next post. And do not forget to leave me a comment on any type of video you like me to make or any question for him. He will definitely respond. I can even,
Yeah.
text back and respond to you via the comment section. So feel free to leave your comments on the description below. I'll see you guys in my next post. Bye, guys.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you very much.